Hey y'all, hey, hope all is well with you. I am Leslie of LesAnn Creations. You can call me LesAnn. I will answer because it's still my name. Let's get into today's subject.
Hey y'all, hey, hope all is well with you. I'm Leslie. You can call me LesAnn. I will answer. So, I'm going to drop in a couple pictures of what I am currently working on, picture, video, so I can kind of talk about it. Had somebody come to me and wanting their Ankara fabric created into. Anyway, so they had about 2 yards of this print and about 4 yards of that print. So they did have like two different ideas. They definitely wanted a top, something that they could wear underneath a jacket, that has not too much drama. They weren't looking for like something I would wear, but they was looking for something that could be versatile. That's the word, versatile. Now I'm gonna tell you, when she came, I was like, okay, she's about a good 14, maybe a 16, depending. I said, this is perfect. I'm like, no problem. And I measure everyone when they come. I always measure my clients, because with the measurements, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of, even if I take a pattern, it's easier for me to find the pattern best fit for them, right? So it's no different than yourself. So I measured her, but then as we were talking, I said, oh, you're great, da 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 da. But she had magical clothing. Okay, maybe I shouldn't call them magical clothing because we all do it. We put on camouflage clothing that kind of hides things that you don't notice. I said something to her and she said, oh, but my bust size, my cup size is this. And when she said my cup size is this, I stopped and I looked at her like, huh? Because I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. It was not apparent. Even with measurement, it was not apparent, okay? Because cup size, even though you may have almost the same numbers going down, the cup size has to do with the fullness of your boob, okay? The fullness, which makes a difference as to how stuff is going to fit. So, of course, I pulled out one of my actual sewing books because I needed to double check the difference from. I did take a pattern that I had that was a princess cut. Don't ask me which one because I don't remember. It was a princess cut pattern, and I don't know if it was my pattern and or one I drafted before, which I've drafted some. I just don't remember. I know it's been a short time, but I actually drafted her pattern way before I made the garment. So I drafted it and just set it aside. So there was key things that I had to make sure of and make note. She has a shorter torso and the fuller bust. That's pretty much it. Depending on where you want stuff to sit, depends on how it goes. Now, I actually have a picture of the first rendition. I did make a change. I actually removed the band, which is more of a waistband running around the middle. It was ended up only being about 1.5 inches in width, but it kind of gave the buckling that I didn't want. It buckled here, like it had a buckle a little bit around the band, and it was a really big buckle in the back. Now I know probably somebody said, well, just cut it off and it'll be fine, but it just, in the back, it gave a really big buckle, and I didn't like that look, and it kind of looked very restrictive on her. I think I do have a picture of her where I can show you how it buckled in the back. The other thing I had to change, which I allowed room for, and there's two different reasons why I allowed room. One reason is the fabric is not washed. She does know already. I had this discussion. I do this with most people. that once it's washed, it may shrink. I do tell them care instructions, and I may even, because I've done it before, where I can do, even if it's a little care instructions that I give to her just as a reminder of what to do, which is cold wash, hang dry. That's it. Cold wash, hang dry. You don't have to wash it a whole lot, but cold wash, hang dry, and you can press it. Should be good. It may shrink some, but I allowed room within the garment so that if it does shrink, she still has room. And if we have to take it out some, we'll still have room. I doubt if we will. I think it'll be fine because I've done it before. Changes, like I said, I had to make is to remove the band, and I just gotta, on the sides of the zipper, I need to move it in just a little bit more, which was maybe another inch. I had to take another inch out. Once I take the other inch out, it's fine. The other thing I was changing was I'm going to give her a longer zipper, because when you have a peplum top out of a woven, you need the zipper to come down at least 3 to 4 inches below your waistline so that it snatches like it's supposed to. If you can't snatch it that way, the easiest or the next best way to do it is to actually put the zipper on the side and turn it upside down and go up, because I've already kind of positioned it. I have adjusted her peplum. Now I'm going to actually measure out and get her pleats in correctly, because they were like rough drafts. We do rough drafts around here. I did do a stitch around the hem, and once I do that, I should be able to, I'm going to bind the front and back with the green, because I don't have enough of the Ankara print left, I don't think. If I got some scraps, I can kind of string them together, which will work as well, but we shall see, not sure. We working with what we got. Like I said, it was only about 2 yards of this one and about 4 of the other one. So that's what I am currently on right now. You can see I actually finished all. I did understitching around the neckline, and that was it. That's the only place I did understitch. I didn't understitch around the arms, but now that she's tried it on, I will probably understitch not on the side seam, but kind of going up into the shoulders and stuff so it doesn't roll, but it should not roll. And car print is notorious pretty much for staying where it's supposed to stay. It is see-through, but stiffer than some of the Ankara cottons I've worked with. We have done the princess seams, but you can't really see them. It's got you can kind of see the shape, right? Kind of see the shape. So cups across her boobs perfectly. So there is no adjustments there. I probably would have, for me, she was more comfortable with a little bit looser. I probably would have, only because I would have washed my fabric first. Unless it has some polyester in it, I may not wash it. I would actually pull it in a lot more underneath the boot to really accentuate the shape. But for her, her other thing was she wants to make sure she covers her area that she didn't want telegraphed. So that is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and pin it. I'm going to pin it. And I'm just going from the middle. I know it sounds weird because sometimes doing this any other way it's not going to work. And I'm going to actually, it's one thing I can do. One thing you can do also too, just this is something I have learned over time. So if you're pretty much balanced as far as your measurements come in the front and your measurement in the back, if your balance is people would normally, because this is in fours, this peplum is in fours, I can actually just drop it and put it at the waistline, right? Or at the side seam. I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. She is fuller in the front than in the back. And if you want to give a balance and to trick the eye, because that's all it is. Clothes is meant to trick an eye if you want to camouflage something. So I'm going to put less pleats towards the front and put more pleats towards the back. It's not going to be a whole lot, but when I do it, what I'm going to do is literally shift. You want to shift that side seam that you normally would do a side seam for, or at the side seam, I would shift it back about 2 to 3 inches. So then when you put the pleats in, of course, do the same on both sides. You'll end up with a few more pleats in the back and less pleats in the front, and it won't telegraph anything that you don't want to telegraph. So let's do that before we talk about the next, okay?